Look, the earnings from Wall Street actually continue to surpass expectations. And to give you the example of Amazon, we saw Amazon profits was more than triple expectations, and that follows up from the very positive, upbeat earnings we had from Microsoft as well as Google at the end of last week. So it does appear that tech is continuing to dominate. But in the wider landscape, there is a great deal of uncertainty ahead of today's US interest rate decision, where the Federal Reserve basically will leave interest rates unchanged. But what the market is concerned about is that over the past month to 6 weeks, we've seen expectations completely be smashed from expecting one interest rate cut as early as June to now anxiety that we're not going to see an interest rate cut at all this year. I think that's a little bit premature, but this is where the market is concerned before they hear from the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell, this evening. And what they really want is answers, because investors have too many questions right now and not enough answers from the US Central Bank.
And we've also seen the price of gold falling ahead of that Fed decision. What can we read from that?
It's exactly that. It's some anxiety and some nervousness ahead of the US interest rate decision, and also where central bank policy is leading globally further into 2024. Because as we entered this year, there was so much hype and enthusiasm about lower interest rate policy. And it was always a bit too overblown. It was a bit too optimistic. We look at some of the record highs we see in world markets. We see a number of different asset classes have been purchased on these expectations of lower interest rates, but we still have warning signs when it comes to inflation. As you see from Wall Street, many corporations can handle higher borrowing costs very well. Just look at the Amazon results overnight. And I think what the investors want now, in order to maybe take some more profit on gold, or even to support gold for the longer term, because we have to take into account that it hit record highs more and close to a dozen times over the past 6 weeks. We saw gold prices above 2,400. So a bit of profit taking is a correction that's likely needed. But to have some more support for the precious metal, the market needs a signal that the Federal Reserve are still in line to cut interest rates in the United States this year. Otherwise, there are more risks for pullbacks in gold ahead.
Thank you very much, Jameel.